Hey Lumineers! Today I want to look at the most impactful cards of each color from the first chapter. Identifying these cards will help us remember what cards we need to play around. This is not the list for the most powerful cards in the first chapter, it's what cards to think about when you see their colors across from you. First we have Simba, Protective Cub. When your opponent leads on a Lilo, and you have to choose which one-drop character to play to challenge it next turn, remember that Simba might be coming that next turn to protect her. Next is Stitch Rockstar. When you're up against Amber, Stitch can be shifted out for 4 ink and hit hard. Rockstar is a pretty common easy include for many Amber decks, offering strong card advantage, and should be a priority to remove when card advantage matters. Rapunzel, gifted with healing. Think carefully about leaving your Amber opponent with damaged characters. Rapunzel will take advantage and draw your opponent some cards. Elsa, Spirit of Winter. You don't have to worry about Elsa for most of the game, but when you do get into the late game, don't think your unexerted characters are safe from challenges. White Rabbit's Pocket Watch. At least you can see this effect on board, but you have to remember your exerted characters are threatened by more than what's on the field. For Emerald, we start with John Silver. One threat isn't enough when your opponent can lock it down with John Silver. We also have Mother Knows Best. Such a cheap action might mean playing 2 cheaper characters is safer than challenging the board with one big one. You also aren't always safe behind your bodyguards. It might be better to trade than to quest. For Ruby, we'll start with Aladdin, Heroic Outlaw. The best card for stabilizing into the late game, Aladdin swings the lore fight incredibly fast and needs to be removed ASAP. Leaving up your opponent's little Aladdins could lead to a turn 5 Heroic Outlaw taking over the game. Next is Maui, Hero to All. What a house. 6 strength and rush. It doesn't matter that he has reckless, he's just here to take over the board. Be prepared. Once you get to turn 7 against Ruby, be careful about how many valuable creatures you're leaving on the field at once. You might want to set up board advantage while your opponent is trying to set up a huge Be Prepared. For Sapphire, we'll start with Belle, Strange but Special. Remember that this 4-cost card can quest for 5 lore very quickly. It's hard to outrace Belle and best to take advantage of an opportunity to take her out. Into Steel, we have A Whole New World. There's quite a few impactful cards you should think about as soon as you see Steel, but A Whole New World is such an important one to remember as it has the biggest impact on card economy in Lorcana. If you can identify that your opponent is playing A Whole New World, it's best to play your cards as efficiently as possible. You might want to keep an important card in your hand instead of inking it, but you'll likely end up discarding it. There's less of a need to set up card advantage when your hand is going to get filled back to 7 anyway. In the mirror, knowing when not to play A Whole New World is essential. There's no need to help your opponent draw their out when you're already ahead on board. Next is Grab Your Sword. Always be aware of how many 2 willpower characters you're leaving on the board. Last is Tinkerbell. Remember that your 1 willpower characters are weak to more than just Grab Your Sword. What do you think? Did I miss any impactful cards? Leave a comment and let me know. Thanks for checking out the video, and see you next time.